Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 list. And as you watched my last video when I talked about the top 10 movies I enjoyed but everyone else hates. Yes, this is the opposite now. This is the top 10 movies I hate but everyone else seems to like. Yes, these movies, I actually don't like them. A lot of people do enjoy these movies. Most of these are actually pretty critically acclaimed films, but I just don't see it. I don't see why people like these movies. It's just my opinion. All of this is strictly opinion. So yeah, I know a lot of people are going to be hating on me like, oh, fuck you, man, this guy's an asshole, he doesn't know what he's talking about. This is just opinion, man. This is all about taste. I just don't like these movies. Majority of the people do, but I don't like them. So here we go. This is the top 10 of my list of movies I hate, but everyone else likes. Alright, let's start with my number 10. And my number 10 is the movie Avatar. Yes. I am so glad people are actually starting to not like this movie because this movie isn't good. But so many people, when this movie came out, people loved it. People called this movie groundbreaking. People called this movie an epic. This movie changed cinema. This is James Cameron's masterpiece. I'm like, do you know James Cameron? This is his masterpiece? This is the guy who did Terminator, Terminator 2, True Lies, The Abyss, Titanic. All better films. Like, this is not his masterpiece. This is his worst film. Well, the Piranha movie, if you count that. But yeah, this movie just blows. The CG doesn't even look good. I found it very ugly and too cartoony. And these characters are all one-note characters. And I don't know why this is the number one biggest box office hit. Yes, this movie made the most money in the box office. Why? This movie even took a few Oscars. Why? And Sam Worthington, he's a god-awful actor, and I can't stand him in this movie. Sigourney Weaver was but Michelle Rodriguez, Stephen Lang, they're all bad. Giovanni Ribisi, just terrible. This movie, like, it has the same story as, like, Dances with Wolves, Pocahontas, Ferngully, Last of the Mohegans, like, it's the same shit, and the message is the same message we've seen in a bajillion movies. There's nothing original about this movie. There's nothing fresh about this movie. There's nothing visually appealing about this movie. I don't see the love of this movie. I'm glad more and more people are starting to really hate this movie, but not enough people hate it, because this is like an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes, and this is the highest grossing film of all time. Why? This movie sucks. Coming number 9 is Driving Miss Daisy. Yes, this movie actually took Oscars. This movie took Best Picture. Why? The movies that came out this year was like Do the Right Thing, Fearless, Dead Poet Society. They're all better movies. Like, what the fuck? This movie won Best Picture? Bullshit. Like, I don't get it. Like, sure, like Jessica Tandy, she's okay. Morgan Freeman, he's okay, but there's nothing really original about this movie, and there's nothing interesting about this movie. Like, yes, we get it, like racism and stuff. Like, yeah, other movies have done this kind of topic better. Do the Right Thing was about race, and that came out the same year, and that movie didn't win any Oscars, really. What the fuck? Like, this movie is not good. This movie is very pretentious. This movie likes to think it's like this poetic, deep movie, and it isn't. It's a very unoriginal, very lame, lazy movie. Very poorly written, and kind of poorly structuralized, too. And yeah, I just don't like this movie. Every time I see this movie, when it's on TV, I'm like, oh my god, what is the love for this movie? I don't get it. Like, this movie won Oscars. I don't get it. I'm not a fan of Driving Miss Daisy. I'm just not a fan. Like I know a lot of people probably like it. Good for you, but this movie was just pretentious to me, and I'm not a fan of this movie. Not a fan. If you're a fan, fine, but I'm definitely not a fan. Coming number 8 is Matilda. Yes, Doug Walker from Channel Awesome, he put that on his list when he did this similar list of top 10 movies he hates but everyone else likes. I fully agree with him on Matilda. Mara Wilson is okay. Other than that, I'm not a fan of this movie. Even when I was a kid, I wasn't a fan of this movie. I don't like this movie. I don't like the story of this movie. It makes no sense. Like, how did Matilda get these powers? And yeah, I don't find the direction. I don't like Danny DeVito's style when he directs the movie. I think he has one good movie. Other than that, I don't like his style of direction, and it's a very poorly shot movie, and it's just a weird movie, and I can never get into this movie. I've tried so many times to get into this movie, I just can't get into it. I've seen this movie about 6 times throughout my life, and every time I see it, I'm like, I don't see why people like it. It's not that good. Not that good. Coming number 7 is Fear, Loathing in Las Vegas. Yes, people like this movie. I don't get it. I get be saying that a lot throughout this video because I don't get why people like these movies, and this is one of them. I don't get it. I never read the book by Hunter S. Thompson, so I don't know how true to the source material it is, but I honestly don't care because I didn't like this movie. This is Terry Gilliam's worst movie. I love Terry Gilliam. This is the movie of Terry Gilliam's. I can't stand it. I've seen this once. I've tried it several times to watch it a second time. I can't. This movie is too weird, and yeah, I know it's like a freak of nature movie. I like weird freak of nature movies, but I can't stand this movie. I can't stand it. I don't think Johnny Depp or Benicio del Toro, I don't find any of them good in this movie. I don't find it a very well directed movie, and the lack of character development is very distracting, and the editing is distracting, and the plot is just all over the place, and I just not a fan of this movie. It's too weird and too freakish for me, and again, I didn't even think Johnny Depp was all that good in the movie, so yeah. Terry Gilliam's worst film, for sure. Coming number 6 is American Pie. Yes, I know, yeah, a lot of fans of this. I don't get it. I don't like any of the American Pies. I don't like American Pie 2. I don't like American Wedding. And I don't like those straight-to-DVD American Pie movies, you know, like The Book of Love and Bandcamp and all that shit. But I don't even like the first American Pie. I don't find this movie funny. This movie isn't funny. I know it's like one of the first teen crude comedies, but it's not that funny. I don't relate to any of these characters. I don't like any of these characters. I don't enjoy watching any of these characters. The only character I somewhat enjoyed watching was Eugene Levy. Other than that, I didn't care for this movie. I don't really laugh when I'm watching these American Pie movies. My family, a lot of people in my family, love these movies. So I watch these movies a lot, and I suffer through them every single time I watch them. I try to laugh, but I can't laugh. I don't find them that funny. I don't get it. Like, a lot of people find, like, Stifler, this Stiffmeister, all hilarious. I don't think he's funny. I don't think Sean William Scott's all that funny. He's funny in Role Models. That's a funny movie. The Rundown, that movie's not even a straight comedy, but he's funnier in those movies. He's not funny in this movie. No one's funny in this movie, and I'm just not a fan of American Pie. I know a lot of people love it, grew up with it. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Number 5 is Napoleon Dynamite. This is going to be very quick. Same reason American Pie. It's not funny. I don't find it very funny. I don't find John Heder funny. I don't find the story funny. I don't find any of these characters funny. Again, people grew up with this movie. This movie came out like years ago, and people loved it ever since they've seen this movie in theaters or when it came out on DVD. People just adore this movie. People quote this movie. I don't like it. I've seen it once. I'll never watch it again. It's a terrible movie. Just terrible. Coming number 4 is Beyond the Lights. Yes, this movie just came out last year, and I was shocked to see, like, the good ratings this movie was getting. I'm like, really? This movie? This movie? Like, I don't find it all that great. Like, maybe Driver is so-so, but again, I've seen this story been done a bajillion times. What's so different? What's so unique about this movie? The two lead characters aren't even all that good. I don't even buy their chemistry in this movie. And, like, what a waste of Danny Glover, too. And I didn't find this movie. I found it very unoriginal. I found it so formulaic. And I found it very Tyler Perry-esque. Like, I thought Tyler Perry directed this movie, honestly. It felt almost like a Tyler Perry movie. Sure, it might be a little more tolerable than some Tyler Perry movies, but this movie does feel like a Tyler Perry movie. And I just was not into this movie at all. When I saw some good ratings for this movie, I actually wanted to watch it. I watched it, and I'm like, that wasn't that good. Then the ratings just got higher and higher and higher, and I'm like, whoa. Am I missing something here? Like, people like this movie? I don't get it. Coming number 3 is The Talented Mr. Ripley. Other than a good performance by Jude Law, yes, he is good in this movie. Other than that, I absolutely hate this movie. I think this movie's terrible. I'm a big fan of Matt Damon. He's god-awful in this movie. Big fan of Philip Seymour Hoffman. Rest in peace, man. Didn't think he was that good in this movie either. I don't like this movie. I cannot stand these characters. These characters are the most weirdest and most annoying characters to watch, and I just was not invested in this movie. That's one of the biggest problems I have with this movie. I was not invested in it. I just did not give a shit of where this movie was going. Yes, it takes a weird, dark turn. I honestly could care less. First watched this movie, I was just counting down the minutes until it was over. I was just so uninterested in this movie. This movie is so uninteresting. And the writing is very bland. These characters are pretty bland and very unlikable and just not enjoyable to watch. This movie it just has zero enjoyment. There's nothing entertaining or fun about this movie. It's just a really bland, very weird and dark and stupid movie. Not a big fan. I'm not a real big fan of this movie. Not at all. Coming number 2 is Independence Day. Yes, this is like Avatar. This movie made so much money in the box office. Why? This movie is ridiculous. I know a big fan base for this movie. This movie is fucking stupid. Yes, just like Talented Mr. Ripley, there's one good thing about it. Will Smith. He's awesome in this movie. He has where he punches the alien in the face and goes, "Welcome to Earth." That kind of got a chuckle out of me. But I don't like Randy Quaid. I love Jeff Goldblum. I don't like him in this movie. I don't like Bill Pullman. Yes, his speech, "And this, our Independence Day." Yes, I don't even find that speech very patriotic. I don't find it awesome. I don't get pumped up every time I hear that speech. Every time I hear that speech, I'm like, it's just a generic speech. And yeah, like, this movie is just dumb. It's a really stupid movie, and I don't see the love for this movie. This movie's really dumb. It's really long, and I'm not a fan of Roland Emmerich. I know some people like his movies. I don't like a single one of them, and this is one of his worst ones. This movie's just stupid. Really, really stupid. I know a big budget alien invasion movie, but it's a dumb, stupid alien invasion movie. Skip it. I know a lot of people have seen this movie, but don't watch it again. It sucks. It really does. It sucks. Really bad. And my number 1 movie that I hate but everyone else likes is The Theory of Everything. Okay, I put this at number 1 because this movie pissed me off the most. So many people have been praising this movie. I don't get it. This movie is not that good. This movie is so boring and so uninteresting. Yes, instead of like focusing on the science of Stephen Hawking, they focus more on his disease, which I get. Like, I'm not trying to be offensive or anything. That part, some of those parts were, I guess, okay, but they focused too much of it. They focused too much about his personal life and about this romance about him and his wife, and then the nurse, and oh my god, I just was so uninterested and so bored watching this movie. I did not like this movie one bit. And the fact that Eddie Redmayne beat Michael Keaton for the Oscar was bullshit. Like, Eddie Redmayne was, he was okay. Every single person he was nominated against that year, or last year at the Oscars, all of them were better. Steve Carell was better in Foxcatcher. Bradley Cooper was better in American Sniper. Michael Keaton was far better in Birdman. He should have got the win. Jake Gyllenhaal didn't even get nominated for Nightcrawler. Like, that was stupid. Like, what the fuck? Like, people that were nominated for the Oscars, and all the people that didn't even get nominated, because there was a lot of good performances last year, they were all better than Eddie Redmayne, but he wins the Oscar? Eddie Redmayne won the Oscar? I don't get it. His performance in Jupiter Ascending just shows you how good of an actor he is. Yeah, he's that good. Watch Jupiter Ascending. Oh my god, yeah, I'm thinking about Jupiter Ascending. God, that movie's stupid. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this movie, The Theory of Everything. I don't get why people like this movie. I did not like it at all. I thought it was the most overrated movie of last year. I wasn't into the characters, and Felicity Jones got an Oscar nomination? What? She was shit. The stupid actress from The Worst Witch got an Oscar nomination? Yeah, okay. I didn't even buy their chemistry, and I didn't like the romance. The science things were cool. They should just put more science stuff in the movie. They should maybe explore his disease more. I found his personal life very boring, and no offense to Stephen Hawking, I look up to Stephen Hawking. I think Stephen Hawking is brilliant. But I just did not like this movie. I was really looking forward to this movie. This was a highly anticipated movie in 2014. I was disappointed. I did not like the movie. I don't think it deserved the Oscar win, and I don't see the love for this movie. I don't like it. I find it boring. I find it annoying. I find it very uninteresting. I'm not engaged when I watch this movie. I find the script very mediocre. I find the directions very mediocre. James Marsh is a good director. I love the documentary he made. But yeah, I find the score very underwhelming, and the performances aren't even all that good. I don't like this movie. I don't see why people like it. It's one of the most overrated movies in the past few years, and yeah, I'm not a fan of The Theory of Everything. There you go. I said it. Not a fan. So yeah, that was my top 10 list of movies I hate, but everyone else enjoys. Yes, come on at me, people. Again, this is just my opinion. So yeah, give me your opinions. What are some movies that you hate that everyone else seems to like? Yeah, give me your top 10 movies that you hate, but everyone else loves. Yeah, I'm curious to know. I will judge it. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.